Okay, right, let's begin, shall we? Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hopefully everyone can see the presentation in front of us here, the University of Southampton Summer School 2024. So once again, let me say hello to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are in the world today. It's great to have so many of you with us today, and I'm sure we'll have others joining during the presentation. So my name is Sam Woolway, and I am the summer school manager for the University of Southampton. If you haven't already, please write your name and where you're from in the chat. It would be really great to know who we are speaking to today. Before we begin as well, I just want to let you know that we will be recording today's session to later make it available on our website and our YouTube channel, which we are setting up. And so, without further ado, I'm excited to welcome you all to this information session on the University of Southampton Summer School 2024. Now, during this session, I'll be telling you about the University of Southampton as a whole, before giving you an overview of the summer school, including our course choices and some information on our accommodation options. I'll then be handing over to Bruce Hearn, who is the Professor of Governance at the university, and also the lead on our business courses, to speak a little bit more about what you may be studying with him before allowing you to take part in a question and answer session at the end. So while I'm presenting, as you just saw, I won't be able to see the chat very easily, so feel free to type questions in there in the chat, and we will come back and we'll answer them at the end, okay? All right, so the University of Southampton is a global centre for excellence in research and education and a founding member of the Russell Group. What does that mean? So that means that we are a research-focused university with researchers and academics who are addressing some of today's biggest challenges through global partnerships and using our state-of-the-art facilities. So we are the 11th highest ranked UK university within the Times Higher Education World University Rankings of 2024. And we have several courses in the top 100 worldwide, including being the second in the UK for music, which is one of the courses that we will be offering as part of the summer school. But we'll get onto that a little bit later. Now, the university also has a very vibrant international student community with over 10,000 international students from more than 130 countries during term time. But even in the summer, there will be plenty of opportunities to meet UK and international students while you're here and to make those friends and contacts which can last you a lifetime. Now, Southampton itself is situated on the south coast of the UK. So it's a port city, which is the same port that the Titanic sailed from over 100 years ago. But it also has a very large train station with links all across Great Britain. So from Southampton Central train station to London, it takes around 80 to 90 minutes, meaning that the capital city is always very accessible to us without us having to pay the London prices for things while you're in Southampton. Now, Southampton also has its own airport with regular flights to mainland Europe. So if you're one of the lucky people who can get to the EU without a visa, you can easily get to France, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, and many, many other places very quickly and very easily. Southampton is also a multi-campus university with different classrooms all throughout the city. So you can see them on the screen here. The first 5 of which are in Southampton. We also have a dedicated arts campus in Winchester, which is just next to Southampton, and also a campus in Malaysia, which isn't very relevant for the summer school, but it's interesting to see. So the summer school will be taking place between the main Highfield campus, but our sustainable fashion course rather, will be taking place on our specialist arts campus in Winchester. Winchester is about a 30-minute bus ride away from Highfield, so it's really connected, easy to get to, and very convenient. Okay, so now it's finally time to talk about the summer school. Now, the program will take place from the 6th to the 27th of July, 2024. So that is 3 weeks long from Saturday to Saturday. It includes an arrivals day on the 6th, as well as a day to allow you to depart on the 27th. So the actual teaching dates will be from the 8th to the 26th. So it's Monday to Friday, normal UK teaching dates. But we ask that you are here from the 6th to the 27th just to get the full summer school experience. Now, during those 3 weeks, you'll be taking one course of your choice, okay? Each course is based on a Southampton term time module with the equivalent of 15 Southampton credits in terms of content and teaching hours. So that's equal to 7.5 ECTS or 3 to 4 US semester hours, if those are important to you. However, please do speak to your home institution to ensure credits can be added to your program of study before you apply. Okay. You'll also be able to take part in extracurricular activities while you're here, such as continuous professional development workshops hosted by our careers department, on-campus activities such as board game nights and sports events, and walking tours of Southampton and London, all included within your base tuition fee. At the end of the program, students who successfully complete their assessments will receive transcripts detailing so, with all other students who have attended at least 80% of their classes receiving a certificate of completion from us. Applications for the summer school are due to open today. They are not open just yet, but they will open today. So please keep an eye out for an official announcement of that. We're very excited to be opening them. So for 2024, we are going to be offering 4 modules. Here you can see them listed on the screen. Now, in a few minutes, Bruce Hearn will be speaking about our 2 business modules, international corporate finance and international entrepreneurial finance. Those are those 2 sandwiched in the middle there. And I'm going to leave him to speak about those as he's going to do a much better job of explaining them than I probably would. But we are also offering the following. So our top one is composition and sound practice as research. So this is our music course, but it will draw from other disciplines such as anthropology, music, cultural studies, and beyond as you delve into research methods, sound art, and composition. Okay, you do not need to be a current music student. This is not a performance-based module, but it is music focused. We also have the White Project Zero Waste Design for Fashion. So this is a course on sustainable fashion, and this will take place on our Winchester campus, as I mentioned earlier. On this course, you'll be researching the concept of zero waste and debating the concept of sustainability, responsibility, ethics, and the environment as you build a portfolio of zero waste designs. So as you can see, we're launching 2024 with a real mix of courses, but these are all taught by University of Southampton academic staff and delivering a high quality experience which can be enjoyed by everybody, regardless of your field of study. Okay. Now, very important to talk about is our entry requirements. So all students must be at least 18 years old by our arrivals day on the 6th of July, 2024. Okay. So that means that you're welcome to apply while you're 17, but you must have been born before the 6th of July, 2006. However, there is no upper age limit. So whether you're studying, already graduated, or in another chapter of your life entirely, you are more than welcome to apply. And as long as you're over 18, your age will not impact our decision on your application whatsoever. If you are currently a student or a recent graduate, we ask that you send through a recent transcript in English shortly after your application. This will help us assess your academic grades, but also for many students, your English ability. So those of you who are from countries where English is not an official language and have not been receiving instruction in English for the last 2 years must also send through an English language certificate or qualification, such as the IELTS, with a minimum of 6.5 total, with a minimum of 6.0 in each component. Okay, that's specifically for the IELTS, but we will also accept other qualifications such as Duolingo and many others. You can check the University of Southampton website to see the full list of what we would accept. Okay, these certificates must be dated within the last 2 years and must be seen before we can fully offer you a place. So please also be sure to check your visa requirements before you make any travel plans. Because of the short length of the program, many nationalities will be able to attend just on a standard visitor visa, which you can pick up at the airport when you arrive. However, for many countries such as China, India, for example, you may need to apply for this before you arrive in the UK. So please be sure to factor that into your planning and to make sure you have that sorted before you make those proper travel plans. Now, lastly, just want a quick note on the accommodation. So you'll be offered accommodation in our Glen Eyre Hall of Residence as an optional extra. These are the same rooms that term time students stay in during the year, so you'll be getting an authentic University of Southampton experience while you're with us. Now, Glen Eyre itself is about 11 minutes walk from Highfield campus, mostly downhill, and it does feature a 24-hour reception, fitness suite, and many other useful facilities for you to use while you're here. All of our rooms are single occupancy, which means you don't have to worry about roommates, anything like this. They will have a private bathroom as well, and they'll have a shared kitchen and common room. So these apartments with the shared kitchen areas will be shared between 6 to 10 students, with same-sex or accessible apartments available upon request. When you put in your application, please do mention that to us if that is something that is important to you, and we will ensure that that is allocated. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to this part of the presentation. As I mentioned, I'll be back at the end for the question and answer session. But for now, I'm just going to check to make sure that everyone is here. Bruce Hearn is here for a deeper dive onto our business courses.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much for that great introduction. And that's a really useful introduction because that gives you a really good overview of what the University of Southampton is, what the Southampton Business School, which is where I sit, and how it functions and how it comes into being within the wider university. And so, and what you can expect in terms of international summer school. And so very much you are part of, you'll get a great insight and experience into the University of Southampton. What we do here, our wonderful campuses, which are very, very beautiful, very green, leafy, and particularly in summertime, it's very nice. Our business school is in the process of moving bigger and better things. We're moving to a big bespoke brand new state-of-the-art building. So we're actually moving into really quite a positive change period, where we're actually moving into a really visibly high-tech, ultra-modern building, which is suitable and is applicable for a business school, which is literally just outside London, as Sam was telling all of you. We're only, I don't think it's even an hour and a half. It's more like an hour, 10 minutes or 20 minutes from the London stations. So we're very, 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 very close to London, and also very close with the British Rail network, the railway network across the UK, to many really interesting places: Edinburgh, Cardiff, Birmingham, the southwest, the north. So very accessible. Our goal is teaching 2 courses. The first is on international entrepreneurial finance. So very much this is Sam, I think if you could flick the slide to the next slide. Thank you. So this slide gives you an overview of the entrepreneurial finance landscape. I make it international to give it because international comparisons make it much more interesting, with a comparison of the situation for financing of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial startup companies in multiple different countries. So you can compare different countries and different systems. And that makes it very interesting and very, very topical and relevant for all of you. A significant number of you are very likely in your life, in your careers and lifetimes, to actually embark on the entrepreneurial process and to actually, for whatever reason, you're frustrated with the inherent bureaucracy of more established organizations and companies, and you want to actually branch out and actually work for yourself and gain all the credit and all the benefits for doing something yourself. Or you've got a brilliant idea, you've seen a gap in the market, and you want to exploit it with a particular product, or a technological innovation you want to bring into a new market or a new country and actually exploit it. So all of these are good things, but all of them critically require financing. The early stage growth of companies, many highly successful companies, lastminute.com, for example, started out of their living rooms and started out of somebody's living room or bedroom, and then grew and evolved into what it is today. So that growth and startup phase from the very, very early stages of a company is critically underpinned by the access or the ability of the entrepreneurs to access finance. What terms do they access finance? From whom do they access finance? What type of financing? And we'll be covering really quite different types of finance. Sam, if we can move on to the next slide. So to start off with, you're all probably familiar with banks, and also probably things like stock markets, stock exchanges. So the London Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, these types of things. These are very large markets, and typically they have an SME board, small and medium enterprise board, or a startup board. So smaller companies can basically afford to actually list on those stock markets. Banks are ubiquitous. Everybody knows banks. Banks have a whole wide variety of products. And so those types of financing arrangements are fairly straightforward. What you might not have heard is venture capital. So venture capital is more formalized. Typically, they are based on the experience and the skills and competencies of a couple of investment managers who then invest a pool or investment portfolio of capital, which is basically formed from large-scale institutional investors who put money into that pot, if you like, of funds. And the large-scale institutional investors lack the experience and skills to screen and to actually to really fully understand the sheer diversity and scale of the landscape of small entrepreneurs. It's very difficult to actually ascertain which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are long-term, which ones are more short-term. So they put money into a very large investment portfolio, which is then operated by venture capitalists who then do have the skills and competencies specific to that niche market of investing in entrepreneurs and SME companies. So venture capital is more formalized. They obtain their money from third party, from institutional investors, and they are pretty much in all countries. They are a massive source of a very important source of early stage financing and funds for growth. They also are a bit more formalized, and so that's quite distinctive. Sam, if we could flick on to the next slide. And venture capital are very different from business angels. Now, an obvious, excuse my voice, it's snowing here, so it's temperature drop. So I've got a slight husky voice. Business angels, a really lovely example of business angel is Richard Branson. You've all heard of him. And so basically Richard Branson he operates as an angel investor or business angel. Now, what this means is an angel investor invests their own personal funds, not somebody else's. That's a critical difference. And angel investors are typically much more patient investors, typically local chambers of commerce, which are typically operating in parallel to local councils. They maintain lists, publishable lists of business angels. And the way that entrepreneurs meet business angels has often been likened to speed dating, as in literally you arrive, you've got a sequence of desks or a sequence of, say, a large meeting, and you arrive with as an entrepreneur, with your business proposal of your ideas. And then you pitch those ideas and that product and your capabilities of leading your business, short, sharp delivery of pitch, to a variety of different business angels who then decide, do they want to take you on? And business angels are very much, once they do invest in you, they are looked upon as mentors and they work very, very closely with you. So they're very much an integral part of certainly the very, very early stage development and growth of businesses. Sam, next slide. So venture capitalists, as I say, are formalized. This slide gives you an example of a pitch by two entrepreneurs who are standing up, and then around the table are a number of different venture capitalists who then make a decision on the criteria, on screening, on the basis of the pitch, on whether or not to invest. Next slide. So the learning outcomes of what you should expect from this course are the 7 key outcomes. We're going to be dealing with inherent practically based case studies. So the teaching is going to be case study based. It's also going to involve Excel spreadsheets. So you're going to get a working familiarity of how evaluation takes place. So if you're thinking about starting a business, what are the criteria and what are the basis that, say, venture capitalists or business angels will evaluate you, which is really useful to know. We're going to have a really good look at the governance that you need to put in place. And we're going to have a look at also, very importantly, at the role of family. So family is a very, very useful, fantastically powerful set of resources that come to bear and transition through businesses. Many entrepreneurs on their own, they also access resources from their families, immediate family, extended family, so forth. And that's common across all countries. So what are the distinctive attributes of families, involvement in firms and early stage firms? And how is this evaluated in terms of governance and expectations by outside finances, such as venture capital and business angels? So overall, we will look at also the implications of different types of financing: equity, which implies ownership; debt, which implies a fixed schedule of interest payments; and a variety of other types of mezzanine finance, preferred shares, convertibles, and a variety of others. So you really get a good familiarity of how financing works for entrepreneurial, very small startup companies. And overall, Sam, next slide. And overall, that concludes my presentation for International Entrepreneurial Finance. I very much look forward to welcoming you and also to introducing you to the key techniques that you would use as an entrepreneur, but also that gives you insight as an entrepreneur into how other people outside finance and so forth are actually evaluating you and looking at you. So thank you very much. And I think, Sam, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Bruce. That sounded really
I
interesting.
think my voice is a
Sounded
bit
great.
croaky.
No problem, no problem. Great. So now we would like to open it up to you guys. I'm sure you have some questions. Feel free to either write some questions in the chat, or even better, turn on your microphone and speak to us using your voice. Anybody have any questions on what we've covered so far? Anything maybe we haven't covered? I'm happy to take any questions. Yes, Nicole.
Hello, Sam. This is Rira.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. I have some problems about the program. First is I checked the links that you just shared, and I didn't find a lot of information about the courses.
Yes, that's right. So our website is due to be updated when the applications go live, so it will be later today. We are doing this information session a little early, but they will be there. But any questions that you have specific about the courses, either Bruce or myself will be happy to answer if you have them now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to know, like, what are the courses the university provide to the students to choose the specific
for the summer school. So we have the business modules that Bruce just mentioned. So he spoke about the international entrepreneurial finance.
Yeah.
But he was also doing an international corporate governance module. We have a music-based module, which is composition and sound practice as research. So that is more of a musical research and sound research based module, as opposed to a performance module or something like this. It's more based around composition and how sound is used together. And also our sustainable fashion module, which is the White Project Zero Waste Design for Fashion. So that will be building up a portfolio and thinking about design in terms of sustainability, responsibility, the environment, and how you can ethically design fashion.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And I still have more questions.
Okay, Vera, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I also see that there are some other summer programs that is for the local students, which I want to know, is there any difference between the international program and the local students program? Are they joining the different ones?
Yeah, so at the University of Southampton, there are a number of programs that happen over the summer. These are very specific programs in a lot of times. So there is things like ECS, which is our electronics and computer science summer school, for example. That is very specific to that course. It is also aimed at 16 and 17-year-olds. So one thing that's very unique about this summer school within Southampton is that it's for 18 plus. We are targeting current students from around the world, but that does include the UK as well, whether you are a UK citizen or someone who is studying in the UK currently. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So and also the length and the modules that we offer. So it's a 3-week course. It is for 18 plus, aimed at current students, but can be higher. And the modules that I just described.
Okay, so what I get information is the UK students are separate from the international students, right?
So UK students are definitely welcome to apply to the International Summer School. We wouldn't turn them down. However, this isn't a program that's specifically designed for UK students.
Okay. And another question is, you know, Chinese students, there are some like in the first year or second year of the university, and they didn't take the IELTS exam.
Right.
Is there any other choice for them to show their language?
Absolutely. So the university works on like a English proficiency band system. So I'll put the link in the chat for the bands. We are looking at band C for the International Summer School, but that can also include things like a Duolingo test result and other things. It doesn't necessarily have to be IELTS. That means.
Do you accept like do you have any like test like from your college for the students to take online to test the language?
As far as I know, there's not a specific Southampton one, but we will accept many others. I'm just going to find you that link real quick, unless Katie can beat me to it.
Okay. And where we can see the fees about the program.
Yes, good question. So you'll notice that the fees were conspicuously absent from that presentation. Those are due to be announced later today. We're just sorting out some finishing touches around the accommodation side of it, which has unfortunately been a little bit delayed in that decision being made. However, I can tell you now in a world first that the base fee for the summer school, so this is going to be the tuition and the core social program, will be £2,250. That's including a £50 application fee.
Okay. That's my question. Thank you.
Great, and then accommodation will be on top of that. The reason for the delay, just to give you all the information, is that we are trying to figure out a balance between self-catering and catered accommodation. So as soon as we figure that out, which will be later on today, then we'll be able to announce the fees. But unfortunately, we were just unable to get that in time for this course.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on the website.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks. No worries. I'm just about, unless it's already there, I'm just about to put the link to the English proficiency bands in the chat. 1 second.
Some have shared the
they're already there. Okay,
requirements
fantastic.
there and the table to compare different tests as well.
Perfect. That's the exact same one. Thank you. So yes, band C is what we would be looking for. Okay, has there been any other questions that have come up? I can see Bruce has answered a whole bunch in the chat. Go on. Yeah.
You've got to scroll up a little bit. Up a little bit. I did reply to it saying, Sam and your team are the ones who need to.
About the age limit.
Yeah, that's it. Age limit. Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, just due to insurance purposes and safeguarding and other, frankly, boring technical things like that, we do have to limit it to 18 plus in 2024. I would encourage you to keep an eye on this program for 2025 if you are still 17 by our arrivals date next year, 6th of July, 2024. However, in future years, that is something that we're going to be looking into, putting maybe a parallel summer school for 16, 17-year-olds. But for 2024, unfortunately, we have to limit it to 18 plus. Okay. I can see there's a hand up. 460, is that Needy? I can see.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. So I had a question. So apart from IELTS, other requirements for the course?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? Apart from the English language, did you say?
Yeah, apart from the language proficiency,
Mhm.
what are the other like requirements for the course? Like academically, do we need to have a score or any transcript from our colleges?
So we will ask for a transcript. That transcript must be sent to us in English. That will mostly be used to assess your academic level and things like that. However, we don't require a specific GPA or a specific set of grades to enter into the courses. Some of the courses will be passed through the summer school team and through the academics as well, just to check before we offer any applicants a place. However, we are just looking for a good academic record, not a specific GPA or set of grades.
Yeah, so actually in my university, I'm a first year
Mhm.
student, so I'll be receiving my transcripts in the like month of May, I think. So what is the deadline of submitting the transcript?
So we would typically ask that the transcripts are sent within 5 days of application, and applications will end in May. Now, I'm aware that there are countries where that will be a lot more difficult, in which case do reach out to us and we will make adjustments based on that. Where possible, a transcript would be best. However, if that's a transcript from last year, for example, then that will be fine as long as it's your most recent one. It can also be backed up by a letter from your tutor about your grades, like someone attesting to your level. But we'll discuss that when it comes to it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Okay, were there any other questions in the chat? Seems to be a lot of questions for Bruce specifically, which is fantastic.
I've been focusing on the chat because you've been doing a great job.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
doing all the oral questions, I'm focusing explicitly on the chat. So it should be all on top of it.
Great. Okay.
There was a
Anybody
question.
else have any
Sorry,
questions?
Sam.
Oh, yeah.
There was a question from Philip. What are the unique benefits of attending Southampton Summer School?
Great. So, I mean, our unique benefits are that we are a founding member of the Russell Group University, so we're very research focused. A lot of the courses that you're going to be doing are very cutting edge courses. There are lots of summer schools in the UK which focus a lot more on cultural subjects, which are fantastic for a lot of students who want that kind of thing. However, ours are going to be much more academic based. So you can see, like, we have these business modules, but we also have even our arts modules. So the sustainable fashion and the music module, despite having that art focus, they are still fairly research based. They are still very there's a certain science that's built into them, and I think that is something that we offer, which a lot of other summer schools don't. I think it's also worth mentioning that one of its unique things is that it's in Southampton. It's right on the south coast of the UK. In the summer, it's one of the better places for weather in the country. There's lots of greenery around. It's a really relaxing place to be, and yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out Southampton and what it offers as a city to kind of answer that question as well.
Can I just chip in there? What Sam's
Yeah,
just
of course.
said, in terms of basically Southampton's on the Solent. So the Solent is a huge inland waterway which extends out into the English Channel. So you've got sailing, you've got canoeing, you've got lots of water sports, water activities, windsurfing. And then on top of that, you've got the regular ferries, which are like once every half an hour or so to the Isle of Wight. So you can see lots of boat building, lots of things to do with the sea and boats.
Perfect. Yeah. absolutely that. So if you are at all interested in any kind of water sports or sailing, then Southampton is a fantastic place to come to, and also to do a summer school at. How many students would be in each course based on previous data? That's a very good question. So one of our key philosophies for the summer school is to have a really great student experience. And that means having class sizes that don't get too out of control, don't get too large, so that there's not enough focus on each student. For 2024, we are capping each module at 20 students, and we would expect to have around about that number, somewhere between 15 to 20 students on each module for 2024. Again, that's just to enhance the student experience, is to help give that intimate and accessible nature of the courses, and just to make sure that everybody can get the most out of their 3 weeks here. I think one really great thing about the UK education system is how accessible it is to speak to professors and academics. I think it's really fantastic that students can, if they have questions, they can go and directly ask academics for help or guidance, and this is something that we are going to be leaning into with our smaller class sizes over the summer. Okay, I can see some questions about the assessments. That's fantastic. Just to tell you more, so other courses will have different assessments. For sustainability, that's going to be a portfolio that you're putting together. And for music, that is going to be, I believe there's a group presentation, and there's also an outline or a proposal for a research project that you can undertake as part of compositional research. Okay, I'll give it a minute or so just to see if anyone else thinks of any questions. All right, it seems like we are done a little ahead of time, but that's fantastic. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to type them in this chat and we'll get to it as soon as we can. Otherwise, this is our email address, summer@sutton.ac.uk, SOTON. I believe we can also do summer@southampton.ac.uk. Email us there. We'd be more than happy to help answer your questions. Oh, there are some more questions. All right, hold on. Any visa support from the university available? Currently, no, because it's such a short course, just 3 weeks, sorry. There is no CAS required or anything like this. We will be able to provide a letter stating the intent for the student to come over and study at the summer school. But in terms of CAS or things like that, no, there won't be anything like that. There will be right to study checks at the end, but in terms of gaining the actual visa, there will be a letter provided, and that will be the extent of it for now, unless there's any other ideas. Group discounts available? Yes, so that's a good question. Currently, once applications open, there will be a 10% discount on tuition. So instead of being £2,250, that will be £1,980 plus a £50 application fee. There's also group discounts available for 10 or more students. However, please contact us with those names before any applications go through, just so we can set that up properly and make sure that everything's accounted for. Yeah, another excellent question. So, will students have free access to libraries, bus services, and gyms? Yes, I actually didn't mention this in the presentation, and I probably should have. So yes, there is a very large library on campus. Access will be provided there via your University of Southampton ID cards, which you'll get on the first day you arrive. And there will also be bus services. So the university has a Unilink bus service that runs from the halls of residences into campus and into the city centre and other key places around the city as well. These will also be free for students using the Unilink app. We're going to be circulating a bit more information about that in the near future. Gyms, you are welcome to sign up for the gym, but that is not included within the base tuition fee. Will any industry guest lectures be offered? So currently we are working out a program which will be announced by the end of the year on our continuous professional development course. Continuous professional development workshops. So those in the past have included guest talks from representatives of countries such as British Airways or Activation Blizzard or other notable companies from the UK and internationally. Nothing to announce on that during this session, but those will be made available very shortly before Christmas. In terms of within the courses, there's nothing planned within the courses itself, but there will be those continuous professional development workshops, and there's going to be 2 of those a week. Oh, the summer school benefit from postgraduate application for Southampton. So this is something that we are sorting out at the moment. It's a very good question. So our plan is to have summer school students act as alumni once they graduate from the university, and then that could potentially unlock a certain bevy of benefits that come with that. One of them being the discount for postgraduate applications. That is something that we are currently working through at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to announce something soon, but not yet, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Vera. As you can see, a lot of this is will be announced very, 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 very soon. For student exchange as in study abroad. So currently there are no plans for an exchange program on this summer school. That is something that we will be looking into in the future. However, it's not going to be available for 2024, perhaps 2025 onwards. We will see. Okay, any last minute questions? All right, if that's everything, then we'll end it there. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate so many people logging in to see this presentation, and I really look forward to seeing so many applications come in when they open. You will get an email as soon as those applications are open. So yeah, please do look out for that. And it's been great to see you all. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, everybody.